David, through the psalm, is trying to lift us up and tell us, come on, look at God. Look at His greatness. Look at how He cares for you. He understands. Then David in verses 14 to 16, he says, he remembers that we are dust. Now we don't even remember that. He remembers that we are dust. Look at verses 14 to 16. For He knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. As for man, his days are like grass. He flourishes like the flower of the field. The wind blows over it and it is gone, and its place remembers it no more. Can we read that again carefully so that we don't miss anything? For He knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. As for man, his days are like grass. He flourishes like a flower of the field. The wind blows over it and it is gone. Its place remembers it no more. Now here is the truth we all understand, especially in this season of the year. Yesterday's green leaves are turning brown all around us. In this law of nature, the green leaves of spring end up in a pile of dry leaves. And then there's no tree remembering the leaves when it falls. The tree doesn't say, I've lost all these leaves, let me have some kind of a remembrance. All my leaves are lost. No, it is lost. It's finished. It is gone. Why do the leaves fall? Why do the leaves turn from green to brown? There's a scientific explanation having to do with the loss of the leaves. But it simply means the leaves are slowly dying. Their beauty comes from their death. Who remembers each leaf? Not the tree, not you. One by one the leaves fall to the ground where they disintegrate and return to the soil from which they came. No one names them or remembers them or thinks about them. When God puts a few great strands on your head, it's like the leaves turning to brown. It's God's way of saying, you won't be here forever. Every now and then, I run across a bit of cemetery humor that makes me chuckle. You know, we have to drive past a huge cemetery on our way out of Berlin and Phoenix area. But recently I was being driven past a very huge cemetery in Dallas, and this road went on and on with the cemetery on both sides of the road. There was no stoplights on the way, and so people tended to drive a little bit too fast on that road. But then I laughed when I saw a billboard on the road, sponsored by the owners of the cemetery, and it said, "Slow down, we'll save a place for you." I'm sure they will. If that's all there is, if we are here today and gone tomorrow, if that's the end of the story, then there isn't much hope, friends. But let me share with you, if you don't have anything else to be thankful for, this is the 4th month of the year, here's something you can hang your hat on if you own one. Our hope is not in man or in anything man can do. Our hope is in the everlasting God. Amen. You can stand on that, depend on that, and forget about the rest. Our hope is in the everlasting God. And that's what David is trying to tell us in the psalm. No matter what you're going through, no matter who's talking behind, no matter what your problems are right now, our hope is in the everlasting God. Finally, he tells us in verses 17 and 18 that he links us with eternity by linking us with himself. Isn't that wonderful? He links us with eternity by linking us with himself. Verses 17 and 18 reads, but from everlasting, I thought that was enough. But it says, from everlasting to everlasting. I mean, one everlasting is enough for me. What about you? But from everlasting to everlasting blows my mind completely. The Lord's love is with those who fear him, and his righteousness with his children's children. Wow. With those who keep his covenant and remember to obey his precepts. There is simply nothing we can do about our frailty. We come from the band of the Creator stamped fragile. Handle with care. We are like dust that blows across the land. We make a big scene and then suddenly we disappear. Try as we might, we can't cancel our humanity. Nothing can change what we are. We pop vitamins and exercise and we practice clean living that might slow down the process in some way of death, but death is still coming. Positive thinking may improve our mood, but for all of us, the end is the same. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Thank God I don't have these funerals where I've got to say these words all the time. You know, it's to have at least 1, 2, 3 sometimes in a week. I don't know when last I went to one or did one. I'm so thankful nobody dies in our midst. Praise the Lord. Yeah. Don't want anybody to die here. We've got lots of work to do. Psalm 103 offers us one strong ground of comfort that lifts us up above all of these hurdles of life. It is the but of verse 17. The blessed but. Do you see that? But the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting. That one word offers us an eternal contrast between the fading flowers and the everlasting God. But our mortality and God's eternity, that one little word, but, stands at the demarcation between his life and the next. Here is our real hope of life that never ends. God's tender mercy, his unfailing love, his abounding grace from everlasting to everlasting. Somebody said that life without Christ is a hopeless end. Life without Christ is a hopeless end. But life with Christ is an endless hope. Life with Christ is an endless hope. And this endless hope is not only to us but to our children's children. Isn't that glorious? Just not for me. His goodness and mercy is from everlasting to everlasting. What we will leave our children? What can we leave them? A vast estate? A large inheritance? A huge life insurance policy? Whatever may be about earthly possessions, they pale in comparison to what God has already prepared for us. Nothing can compare with what God has in store for us. In this very transient and passing world where everything fades away, we have the promise that we are linked to eternity. We never will die. You know that? We're not going to die. So don't prepare for death, prepare for life.
Amen.
We're going to live with Him forever and ever. So we're not preparing to die. One moment we're taken away from here, the next moment we live, we rule and reign with Him. We are in eternity. And so, after we are gone, by the faithfulness of God to our children and to our children's children, this too is the mercy of God, because He promised that. So we don't have to worry. You know, my father and mother were the best you can get, but they didn't leave any insurances and leave any properties and leave anything of any great significance or value. But they left something far greater than anything money can buy. And I believe when we can leave that, we can leave the assurance, when we can leave what God can do and has done to our children and to our children's children, talk about His faithfulness and plant salvation in the hearts of people, we would have done far more than any money can do. What is Psalm 103 telling us? What is Psalm 103 really telling you this morning? That we are richer than we think. We are more blessed than we will ever know. So stop asking to be blessed. Because we are blessed beyond our knowledge. And we have more than we realize. We frail mortal sinners are rich in the mercy of God. And we have found that mercy, or rather, that mercy has found us. We just don't go through life pulling ourselves from one day to the next. We don't drag ourselves along thinking that we are so weak and we don't have and we are so poor. That kind of vocabulary must leave our minds and hearts completely. When we remember what the Lord has done, when we remember what He is doing for us, when we remember where we were and where we are at now, then that in itself should lift us from our bondages, from our pains, from our hurts. Some time back I heard Billy Graham talk about a little boy that was crying in a corner, and then the police was brought in, and he said he was lost and nobody could take him to his home. And so the policeman was trying to give him all the street names so that the light could come on in his mind and nothing would work. And then the policeman remembered, in one neighborhood there's a huge cross. And so he said, do you know there's a cross in that area? Do you live in? He said, yes, take me to the cross and then I can find myself home. And so I believe each one of us need to get to the cross. And from there we'll be able to go back to where we really belong. Go back to the place where God wants us to be. It's at the cross that we'll find our way. It's at the cross we will appreciate all that the Lord has done for us. It's at the cross we will know how filthy, how vile, how rotten we were. It's at the cross we will realize what pain and agony Jesus went through just for us. We are rich. Would you agree that we are rich?
Amen.
Who would die for you? You've got to be of some value for someone to lay down their lives for you. You've got to be very notable for someone to die for you. You've got to be of some value for someone to die for you. You are. You are. And so this morning, are you weak? So am I. Are you needy? So am I. Are you guilty? Yes, I'm guilty too. Are you frail? Yes, I am too. Are you like dust? So am I. And God says to us, is weak, is needy, is guilty, is frail, is dusty children. I know you through and through. And I love you anyway. Come to me. Rest in me. Make me your rock. God's mercy in Christ is more than enough for all of us. And so, why do we have to be down? Why do we have to be discouraged? Why do we have to feel like nobody cares? It doesn't matter if nobody cares. If the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords cares, then why do I need anybody to care? If He who gave His life for me cares, why do I need to worry about others? He cares. And so, release everybody else from whatever they've said, whatever they've done. Just release them, because what God has done outweighs everything. He's a great God. He's a wonderful God. He's a faithful God. And He loves you with a passion. I can't work this out. Why He would love us so much. Why He would care so much for us. But He does. So, all I do is just accept it. I don't know why He loves me, but I accept it. I don't know why He cares, but I accept it. I don't know why He went to Calvary to die for me, but if He didn't, where would I be? Shall we bow?